Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Normal World. I'm Dave Landau. Joining me is always...
Quarter Black Garrett, that's me. And Angela.
Hi.
Hey.
Howdy.
What's up? I never know what to say when this happens.
Just say hello.
Hello.
That would be fine.
I've done like almost 200 episodes.
Yeah.
Have we really?
Yeah.
We're at 172.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
We're up there, bro.
5 good ones.
We'll get there eventually.
Good stuff.
Hey, thank you so much for liking and subscribing and tongue punching that like button right there.
Ooh, yeah.
Hey, if people wanted to see you live, where could they go?
Why, by George, tomorrow night they could see me in Columbus, Ohio at the Funny Bone. And then Saturday they could see me in Cincinnati, Ohio, or Liberty at the Funny Bone, where they have Haitians eating local
Cuisine.
Yes, it just turned out to be somebody high on bath salts eating a cat's face.
Wow.
But, you know.
Damn.
And I guess some people eating ducks. It's not important.
It's nothing wrong with eating a duck.
The Comedy Zone in Jacksonville, Florida. Where can they find you?
Nega Garrett, my new channel. Tomorrow, new video coming out about LA and some people that I talked to there. It was a really cool time that I had there. So please subscribe and check it out. Angela, I know you got a channel too.
Yeah, it's Angela Does Horror, all one word.
HORR.
Yes.
Yeah, horror movies.
Spooky time is perfect.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Our first guest, let's introduce our returning champ. She was here yesterday, nice enough to come back.
Shocking.
Don't know why.
Also,
Shockingly.
someone had slid all 4 of her tires, so she had no choice.
Someone.
Damn, really? Some short, fat guy. Please welcome back to the show. You can see her at Mothership the 18th through the 20th of October with Adrian Palucci. Palucci is what I said. Please welcome Bridget Phetasy.
Hello. Thanks
So
for
glad
holding
you're
me
back.
hostage, guys.
It's nice to have another girl around.
Yeah.
Woman.
All right, so you can synchronize. All right, so also joining us on the show.
So we can both be bitches at the same time.
Yeah. You're over,
all
pal.
three of you.
Whatever. All right.
We're just trying to synchronize with you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible. I'm
Riding the
always,
wave.
I'm always on my period.
Riding the wave.
You never know when it's
Red
gonna pop
wave.
up.
The Dave wave.
Big Wave
That's what you
Dave.
call it.
That was my original radio name. It was.
I don't know why I said it like that.
Big Wave Dave.
Wave day.
96.3 The Jams.
Turn it in.
Yeah.
What kind of music you play on that station?
We play all old Beach Boys.
As opposed to the new Beach Boy.
They sold out.
No, nobody. Yeah, they sold out on that.
Well, that's Stamos stuff. We play no Stamos Beach Boys. Big Wave Dave.
They replaced all.
We got to
the
intro our other guys.
I know I'm about
dare
to,
you.
but you're the one that decided to pivot to me.
Sorry.
Stop making it all about you.
Try to run this show.
Joining us as well, one of my favorite comedians. He's a fellow Detroiter, lives in Austin, though, now, if you want to find his address. Please welcome to the show, Tre Stewart.
Thank you. Also, I am a woman as well.
Are you syncing up with us?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I feel it.
He's identifying as one today.
That's right.
I like it.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
Yeah,
It's 2024.
go for it.
Yeah, I'm a powerful black woman.
Yes, you
As you
are.
should.
You have to
be.
agree with everything I say.
Hello, Mrs. President.
That's right.
I met you doing RFK shows.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah.
Bobby, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him?
I don't know. I think he decided to drop out.
Yeah.
Like I kind of figured was going to
Spend more time with his Falcons.
Yeah. Do a little bit more time.
Falcons?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's Falcons. He's a falconer.
He's a falconer. He killed a bear and threw it into a park.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
For his Falcons?
No, he's a really nice guy.
He is. He's
a
a
very
sweet
smart guy.
guy.
Yeah. And it was funny because the number of people that gave me crap for like
People did. They.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Erica, another comic that was on the show too.
Rhodes.
Yep. She was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I wish people. No one hit me up. I wish they would, because I think I'm a bit of a troll. I can be.
Come
Yeah.
at me.
Yeah, I want it. Everybody
Yeah.
was like, whatever, you know.
I don't think Heather
Maybe because
had-
I'm black.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
think
say
it's
that.
too because I was going to say Heather's black, and I don't think she had an issue either.
Yeah.
They come at me, and then they're like,
That
"It's
black
fine."
privilege.
It's that privilege.
It is the black privilege where the whites will defend you, but then they won't.
I get to do whatever I want. But Bobby was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now I think he did. It's interesting. I understand throwing his support behind Trump, but there were quite a few people that I talked to that were his fans that didn't like Trump or Biden, and so they kind of feel a little
Betrayed.
yeah, for sure.
I can see going that route. I mean, it makes way more sense to me because I think, well, you know, the Democrats did kill so many of his, like,
Wow.
well, I shouldn't say the Democrats, the CIA
Well,
murdered his family.
kind
It's
of the same thing,
it
really.
just, I don't
Yeah.
know. There are a lot of people trying to shoot at Trump. I don't know.
Right.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
If I was a Kennedy, I don't know if I'd run over there.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's the thing.
I don't
The
know.
best-
Maybe that's like why he feels, that kinship with them.
Because he got shot again.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they get closer. Each assassination attempt, Bobby and Trump.
Honestly, his numbers go up every time to the point where I'm surprised that Kamala is not like, hey guys, could you stop trying to kill him?
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
is gonna
no.
help.
At this point, I hear people say that it's a setup, and I didn't believe the first one was, but at this point, maybe he understands that he gets a bump.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe this is him orchestrating
No one died
it.
this time. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like just shooting like a random direction around
It's like
helps.
people are like, how would you know he was golfing? And you're like, shut the fuck.
Yeah.
It's
You're
like
out
Donald
to be.
Trump.
but it's also if it was any president in the last 20 years, it's like you knew he was golfing. He was
Yeah, they
either-
all go.
yeah, he was either being the president or golfing. Those are the two things presidents
Now
do.
watch this drive.
The only difference was the other ones went to Camp David, and this
Right.
dude has a golf course in Florida
Yeah.
that he goes to.
Is there a golf course on Camp David?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Oh,
Is there not?
makes sense.
I think so.
I could. Be
I just
talking out
imagine
my
that
ass.
they were like, I don't know what I thought was there actually.
Isn't it kind of like a retreat?
I
It looks
literally
like
have-
there is a golf course.
Is that where
sure
they
It's a
there is.
presidential
rituals?
retreat.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's got to be a golf course. It's where the presidents go.
It's called
Yeah.
the world's most exclusive golf course.
Dweeb skull and bones.
Feel dumb
course.
now.
Yeah, definitely no kid fucking going on there.
Yeah, for sure.
The safest. I leave my kids there.
This,
It's a daycare.
No, but it is.
did
yeah.
you get a call from Bobby too?
I did. He's a nice guy. Yeah, he called me.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
yeah, this guy's like calling people. He's like, hey, you were funny.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. And I'm like, oh, man.
Oh, that's
sweet
nice.
guy.
He's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to thank you for letting me pay Russell Brand so much money and you nothing.
Russell got paid?
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
you
paid
didn't
a
see
lot.
Apparently got paid a shitload. I found that out looking at TMZ one day, and I was like, well, that's not
lot.
cool. I was donating my time.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
No, but I actually
Was
like
not aware.
Bobby. I think it's important that he stood up for what he did, and I really it was really messed up that like they pulled the Secret Service detail off of him.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're helping.
Right. And now you look at
Wait,
him,
they pulled it off of Bobby? Because he didn't have it.
he didn't have it at all. That's what I mean.
Then he
didn't.
did.
didn't,
Then
and
they
then they
took
gave
it
it to
away.
And Trump put it back on him actually before he had before he even was before Bobby endorsed him.
Yeah.
Oh, he
He
did.
was like he's got to have him, so he like.
Well, he's probably safer without it.
Yeah, that's
see-
what I'm
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's like, what's going on?
Because you remember, like he actually had big dudes that looked effective.
Yeah, they were. They were like, there, and none of them were a woman.
No,
They were tall. And yeah, I'm just
looks
saying,
That's
that's
a private
size.
security. They could.
yeah, not to assume, but
Wouldn't you look around as Trump and your detail and be like, I'm going to die if you see like 3 women?
yeah, one of them fumbling their gun. It was great.
especially one who's just looking out a window at a roof and is
directly at it.
I don't see anything. You're like, what about the guy with the gun? And you're like, well, that could be anybody.
My nephew?
It's
Bobby up there.
It's got to be. It's a setup at this point, right? Because it's happened too close together. Attempts on.
Dude.
I think it's, I just think it's apathy. I think it's just people aren't caring enough.
Because they don't like him, and they
Yes.
secretly want him to die.
I think it's part of that. Yeah, honestly, is my opinion. And I think that she should look out too because they have the same. There's a level of hatred now for both candidates I've never seen exist like it does now.
It's existed
Yeah.
before, though.
But do you think to this level?
Mr. Lincoln would like a word.
Oh, that's true. We don't have a Wilkes Booth. We can't just.
I think the fervor. I think the crazy fervor for hate for Trump is like insane. The way that they've like frothed it up for how long now? 6 years.
On social
Of
media.
course,
They've
like
been
some
cooking
crazy
it.
person's gonna crack.
They've been cooking it and calling him Hitler. I do take your point of we've been in tense times before.
Yeah.
That's actually
Great
a
point,
great
yeah.
point because when people say that, they're like, "Oh, America's never been more divided." Like we fought each other.
Yeah, we literally had a civil war.
Like the bloodiest war.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is, but it's a unique thing. So when you're calling somebody literally Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then the minute that he gets assassinated, they're like, "We hope literally Hitler is okay.
But
We wish him
Thoughts
well."
go out to literally Hitler.
But remember when Lincoln was in office, people knew what literally meant.
Yes, they don't
True.
anymore.
Like we weren't all the stupidest people.
Not like
We
a
are the
millennial
stupidest people.
version of it.
There's no way we're not the dumbest versions. We may have the most technology, but we are easily the dumbest versions.
Maybe this, I mean, I was just having this conversation the other day. Is this like just because the masses have technology? Is this like, this is why the peasants can't read? You know?
Yeah, that's a good argument
Don't
for that.
let them read because they can't be out there talking.
Exactly. Keep them dumb.
Not safe.
Yeah.
Well, somebody just corrected a joke I put online, and they were like, "It's opossum, not possum," and it's like you should be murdered.
Feel that. Yeah, exactly.
It's both.
That's who we should be locking up.
Yeah, like anybody, and it's like even if you're kidding, you should be killed. I mean, if you're kidding, you shouldn't
Go
be.
up to Canada.
But-
It's the worst kind of Nazi, the grammar.
Yeah.
Because it's like nobody says opossum. No one.
I remember when I found out that it was opossum and I laughed for like 2 weeks straight.
Because it's Irish.
I was like, what the fuck? Because I couldn't find the word. And
Who even says that?
my cousin
Nobody.
was like,
Nobody.
it starts with an O. And I was like, what? I think I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
I just learned. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just learned on.
Can't read though. So.
No.
Yeah, me
Well, I just learned. Well, I just learned on Instagram that people keep a lot of them as pets.
Yeah.
A lot of and raccoons. Yeah, because they'll get abandoned in their yard. And then you have a raccoon that's just like going in your fridge. Like they're smart animals.
Late at night.
Like,
they have
They are
opposable thumbs,
yeah,
man.
they can make
Dangerous.
sandwiches and stuff. It's not a dumb animal.
Also, you could have I've seen one. One guy had a service raccoon.
Seriously?
No.
That feels racist in some way. Wait a second.
You talking about Bagger Vance?
One guy I did receive a story about a service alligator though. That's real.
Is that real?
That's real. I saw
comfort.
That's why, like now, like, I'm not even that gullible. But you could tell me anything, and I would go, "That seems right."
It's hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it on the internet.
Everything is real. It's hard to make fun of stuff.
I think that
Really hard.
I think a service raccoon would be good though. They're really good with things. It could fix stuff.
They could hold a platter, like really nice.
Yeah.
Put a little jacket on them or something.
A little. Yeah. Put it to work.
To see this, yeah.
I would have a service raccoon, but I mean, unless it's
Not
rabid.
a possum.
I was just
Possums are
trained to
gross.
steal
I don't know
stuff.
something about 'em.
Well, dude, I've been chased by a Detroit rabid possum. Have you been, or by a rabid raccoon? Have you?
Yeah.
I've seen one. Dude, they are mean and
They are mean.
fast, and they will. Dude, they'll bang on your door, trying to kill you.
man.
They're huge.
Look out that car.
They're huge.
I don't know if that's an animal.
It's how they sound. Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Wait, you talking about a black guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to say it, but I couldn't.
Hey man, you
said
got the
Detroit.
time, brother? Hey Jack. Oh, like you're scared.
The wrong neighborhood.
If a raccoon asks you for the time, don't look at your watch because another raccoon's gonna hit you in the back there.
Yeah, it's a scare.
We're working together.
All these raccoons coming over here.
Where they got the bandit.
I got a mask on. Try to hide there.
No, that's happened though. Like in Detroit, like you get rabid ones and they
Oh
really
yeah.
they're
chase
in
you.
Also
the
dogs.
city?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stray dogs. Yeah.
yeah, dude. They
Wasn't
will-
there like a crazy problem with a dog, just like
Packs of dogs and shit.
packs of dogs in Detroit?
Oh, massive. They did a cover of Rolling Stone on one, and there was a house. It wasn't far from the Heidelberg Project, and it was a house that was filled with mainly pit bulls.
Yeah.
But the very top dog, like the one that ran everything, was a female black lab. No joke. Was the meanest dog in this entire house.
Yes, queen.
Yeah. But that was the one that ran. But no, it was a massive problem. Like I used to work at London Luggage in Detroit and Woodward, and it was kind of before they gentrified it and all that. But you would see like just packs of dogs like
That's
wandering
terrifying.
around all the time
It's like India, by the way.
with stray dogs.
They're
you
just packs of dogs running around.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds dangerous.
Well, because they're pack animals
Yeah.
hunting for food. I mean, if you leave them out, to in the wild, I guess.
So what
But
you're
it's
saying
like
is
Detroit.
you're saying is we need to import Haitians
Yes.
into Detroit.
You know what?
He went
You
there.
got solutions.
He went there.
I'm a solutions guy. Man.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying you're wrong.
What do you think about that? Are they really? Because I saw people saying there's no proof, and then you see other people saying I've heard it from a guy. They're doing it. Has anybody proven that they're eating?
They're trying to.
I've seen a lot of like reports of neighbors saying that other neighbors are doing it, and then there's some footage of people eating dogs in their backyard. But I don't know is it all coming from Ohio, or is it just like the random weird person that does weird things? Because that's also.
But then you also have like Russia getting in, or whoever is now. They'd made all like hoax bomb threats. You know,
Right,
remember there all the bomb threats at the schools, and they're like, "This is because of the rhetoric from the Republicans," and it was like the Russians just trolling America as usual. Or I don't know if it was
like
Russian.
what-
They won't tell. The mayor won't tell you who it is.
I don't know. I've never been to.
Well, and the mayor's going to, of course, say everything's fine. I mean, his job depends on it, so you can't really, and it's the mayor of Springfield. being like,
Springfield
"Everything's
next
fine."
door must be wild.
Yeah.
Like that app must be wild right now.
Yeah.
It's just people like, I saw you grilling your monkey in the background.
Well, they confirmed
backyard.
they confirmed that they were grilling guinea pigs.
Okay,
that was
so that's a real thing.
Yeah. So they did go to a store to get
Who's they?
Haitians.
Okay.
So not like just random people, but like these Haitians that did show up. So they did go, like which is
Well,
odd
you
to
can
me.
You can eat those.
Yeah, but why not
those in
just go
Peru?
to
Yeah,
the
it's not like a
store?
cultural thing. Maybe they just don't know.
Yeah, but couldn't you just go to a grocery store and get anything?
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you
Maybe they
just
don't know.
rather get already skinned food instead of?
Yeah, but see, that's a soft way to come at it, man. These
So,
guys,
there you go.
you know what I mean? They came. They're tough. They go out.
Yeah.
That's like Rogan.
They
you
hunt
know what I
their
mean? They
guinea
hunt
pigs
their
like
fucking-
men.
That's right.
It's true. I'm being a pussy about my food.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You get
They're letting
work
it
for
go
you,
and
man.
bow hunting it in the
sitting
park.
there on your couch with your air conditioner. Get out there.
Hunt some guinea pigs.
Go
Duck's
find a
easy to
cute
go.
animal.
though.
Where do you fucking hunt guinea pigs anyway? Like little kids' rooms?
Yeah.
You're just going door to door.
God.
Just go to PetSmart and you're like, give me that one.
It is an interesting issue. Maybe it's definitely not a problem.
Well,
Right.
like I've eaten duck. I'm sure everybody here has. So
delicious.
there's no way homeless people are not eating ducks anyway.
I had pigeon.
You've had pigeon?
Yeah, in France.
You know what's sad about pigeons?
Everything.
Well,
Cameras
no.
inside their eyeballs.
No, but pigeons.
But they're not real.
Well, the pigeons are actually, they're actually cameras used by the government to spy on
Yes,
all of
they
us
are.
having sex.
I think it's a joke. It's real.
No, but
Sounds
Talk to a
pigeons
guy in
were
Seattle.
accurate.
pigeons were courier pigeons. They were used as telephones by
know.
all
They
of
were,
us.
yeah.
So they were trained to stay in cities, and that's why they love
They're gonna
humans
start
so much.
exploding soon.
I'm serious though.
God, bro.
They were domesticated birds for human beings, and then when the telephone was invented, we
didn't
were
need
just like, they're street rats, and we abandoned these pigeons that loved us for so many centuries.
So
That's a
what you're
good
telling
point.
me
I've
is they're
never
going to
thought
start
of that.
blowing up
It's
soon.
true.
It is so true.
We're really shitty to
suck.
this bird
No,
that
that's
we
right.
raised to be domesticated.
They were like, we like to do everything you tell us.
They
to
were
do.
good
We'll take your
workers.
messages.
They
were.
We'll
And-
save you in World War II. Like it legit did that stuff.
Now we're like,
Like,
what's
get
this
outta here.
dirty animal doing in a city?
Got
And it's like,
worms.
It loves you.
Yeah, it's tragic.
This is what the terrorists
why-
are going to start using. They're going to start exploding.
Dude,
The pictures, yeah.
Hey.
we don't go near pigeons anymore, and I like pigeons because they helped us, and we don't have the respect for the pigeons that they so rightly deserve. I've never had a rabid pigeon chase me in my house.
They're the new pagers.
Have you eaten pigeon?
Yeah, I just
it was
told
good,
you
right?
I ate pigeon. That's how we got on this tangent.
But I didn't know if you were being
Was it good?
honest.
It was good because it was France and they can make
Yeah,
anything
it's
good.
not wild pigeon.
It was the sickest restaurant too. Like the whole roof opened up. It was
What?
beautiful. Yeah.
The pigeon have a nice family.
Pigeons
a nice
would
up-
fly. I'm just kidding.
Was the pigeon from a broken home?
Yeah, because does it affect? I wonder if it affects, right? Because they do that with cows. They massage.
Oh, like veal?
Yeah.
No, I won't eat veal.
Oh, you mean like
Like,
Kobe
uh,
beef?
Yeah, like they
Wagyu.
give you a good life, and then they kill you.
Yeah, like you get to drink alcohol all day, and an Asian guy massages your muscles.
You're like, this is great.
Is that cruelty? Because have you seen those videos online where it's like a little piggy and they're massaging it and they have like little oils and they're like rubbing its skin and they're giving
He's
it a little,
having the time of
and then
his
they cut straight to the pigs cooked. And it's like shocking, but That pig had a pretty good life.
It was gonna die anyway.
Much better than being in like a factory farm.
I think it depends too, because a lot of times they'll like keep those animals from moving.
Yeah,
so that they're
the veal.
fat. That's messed up.
Yeah, the veal is messed up.
Veal is
Moving?
Yeah, they cut their
horribly
teeth
Yeah.
and stuff. Like
That's why free range is a thing, right?
Yeah, I just know they do
No.
it with veal specifically because if the muscle is
That's why it's so tender.
tenderized, yeah, it becomes too
okay.
tough.
Because if they walk, it gets like
Worked
used
out.
and a little.
Oh no,
rough.
they're raised in a crate, so it doesn't learn to
Yeah,
walk.
right.
So it's always soft tissue.
Yeah,
That
It's messed
sucks.
up.
Yeah,
It's
no,
messed
it's
up.
We gotta
That's
let them
demented.
run around.
veal. That's how veal is veal.
yeah, it's made so it's this wonderful soft baby lamb, and then
I won't do it.
no,
I've
You've
never-
eaten veal.
I just can't. I can't do it.
tried it,
From a moral.
but it's
No, I don't. I mean, that would be a weird like line, I guess, because it's not like I'm a vegan, but it is. There is something about the way that veal is raised that it's always been like I can't get it out of my mind every time.
It's not
I
that
wish
much
you
better.
hadn't have
see it
told
in
me.
a
Now
restaurant.
I
I
can't.
don't think it's that much better.
I don't know. I only eat veal.
Exclusively.
I don't know why.
To produce your
I'm
own.
gonna start.
Yeah, everything that I eat needs to be raised in a box. with
That
no
actually
hope.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Not move for the tenderizing.
Well, I mean, even pigs
Here.
are like super smart and they have best friends.
I know.
That's so sad.
And cows cry when
Eat the shit
when
out
their
of some
calves get
bacon,
taken.
though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
yeah.
What really?
I think I might become a vegan after the show.
That's
or
why.
we'll go have a steak.
That's why if you have a dog,
one of the
That's
two.
true. Yeah.
but if you have like a dog go with the other dog and smell death, it'll cry.
Yeah.
Why it's like it's better to just let the other dog think it ran away.
Oh.
I know. I'm sorry. Oh
Yeah.
fuck! You just lost your dog.
Damn,
No, it's a Haitian.
Dave.
Haitians got
I
it.
didn't mean to do that.
Ah,
My dog did just die, but
thing you
that
didn't
was
say you would
funny.
eat it.
I know, but I was just saying that it's true
He
though.
said the Haitians. The Haitians got it.
It's a problem. I'm sorry to hear that.
She lived a good life.
Oh, how old was she?
10. She lived a good life.
all right.
She was a street dog, and I
Oh,
rescued
really?
her from the Haitians.
She went to Haiti and got it.
You went to yeah. See, you're a good person. We need more of that.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what people don't eat ever? Liverwurst.
What even
They do
is
in Germany.
What is liverwurst?
Liverwurst is Boar's Head actually has permanently recalled the former popular liver sausage. It's made of liver,
Okay.
but it's and it used to be like a huge sandwich that people would always eat. They'd be like, "This is just part of your daily lunch is
Sounds
liverwurst."
gross.
And Boar's Head announced that this past Friday that it will stop making the deli counter's most controversial cold cut of liverwurst.
Wait, it's controversial?
Yeah, they don't want to make it anymore.
I feel
because
like
of
this
all
is just their way out of making liverwurst.
It used to,
Who's eating
but
this
if
shit still?
Yeah.
But if it was 1950, we'd
it's
all be
controversial.
splitting liverwurst right now.
Yeah.
Except, well, you'd be in a different section. We'd all be,
As it should be.
you'd also be confused.
I'm not. I don't know. I'm white.
Yeah.
I'd just be
Like
white.
the good old days.
Yeah.
The counter wasn't even a good seat. White people were stupid.
Silly.
The back of the restaurant's the best place to
Yeah,
sit.
back of the bus too.
Dude, I know.
Yeah,
so
you need the
much
long
more
seats.
casual.
Rosa Parks, that dumb bitch.
I know.
Stood up for everybody.
How dare she?
Dude, and then Mike Ilitch paid for all her shit the rest of her life. She's the smartest woman that ever lived.
Damn.
Yes.
Dude, oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, liverwurst. Like, oh, that's a word. I hate the counter. I'll wait for a table.
Please.
Yeah.
Sit at the counter.
That's for hobos.
I
No.
love the counter
Why?
Why would you?
because I'm
It's
white
so, I
trash.
feel like it's so isolating. You're just
Oh
like
well, there it
alone
is.
in a.
Okay.
Oh, that's why. Because
'Cause
I
of-
like being alone.
Oh no, I like. Well, I mean, if you're with a group.
Do you ever go to a noodle place and it's only counters?
Yeah, I love the
You-
counter.
And you don't look at the staff? That's best. And they don't take tips.
Oh, do you mean the ones that are behind the?
Yeah, they have like a.
You don't have to look at them or pay
No.
them.
Yeah, no. Have you ever seen that? It's like Asian places where there's
Yeah.
like it's like a board basically,
Yeah.
and then they just kind of open it a little and put your food
That's
under
great,
it.
Yeah. You don't talk to them. You can just put out the thing that says water and they'll give
And they
you water.
refuse to take tips. It's
Great.
very weird. It's
Perfect.
well,
Well, because our system is fucking like people are getting paid so little that they live off of tips.
Yes.
Over there, I think they're paid much better,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
It is a
whole
higher cost,
Yeah.
for the food when you're there.
It's worth it though.
Just pay it. I don't understand. That's the thing about I don't get when people argue about like minimum wage and and like I think a livable wage is something that we all can agree on, no matter
Yes.
who you voted for. And if people don't have that, how can we get to that? Rather than, I hear the other side, or a lot of Republicans are like, oh yeah, you're ruining the business, which maybe that's a good point, but we're not addressing the workers that can't pay their rent. And they're working. By the way, did you see the tax? No, Trump's new tax for overtime?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's why the fucking Teamsters came out for him today. They were like, no tax on overtime.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Trump.
Same thing. But that's something that would actually help real people.
Yes,
Which is
absolutely.
crazy, because during his presidency, he didn't do anything really that specifically helped
Middle class.
Trump
Yeah.
to do one thing. He helped rich people, but this would
I don't know.
actually
I made
help.
more money during his presidency for sure. I feel like
From a
people
policy,
definitely-
though. He didn't
It wasn't
do anything.
specifically. It was more like
The domino
trickle down.
effect of it did
Yeah,
help,
was
in my
trickle down.
opinion. But I know what you're saying.
This
Yeah, I know what you're
is
saying.
this is a targeted. That's what I would like to see.
Targeted at things
Targeted,
that
yeah.
actually help the
That's what
individual.
most Americans would like to see instead of dumb stories about, people eating pets.
Oh my
Right,
God,
yeah.
yeah. Kamala
Right.
really got him in that because he had that question.
Yeah.
Remember that the
Yeah.
debate he had it was his.
Yeah.
He pulled a Biden.
That was the problem with that debate is he did, and people can say he was passionate, and I saw that too, but it's like he lost his cool.
Yeah.
And I don't,
Multiple
and
times.
again, all she had to do was really not answer questions. And all he had to do was say that strategy, like you said, I'm going to specifically do this.
Yeah.
And that's going to kind of get you to win because he actually has some plans in place. She's kind of new to it. And that's what was so frustrating about even watching that
Wait,
entire thing.
how is she new to it? She's the vice president. That was the other
That was
thing.
the one point he did.
That was
nail
the
her
other
on.
thing I don't
Yeah.
understand.
Was like
I
she's
do-
been here this whole time.
But I don't really see her as that she's been doing much for a very long time when you look into it. People can argue that, but honestly,
the
the
vice
more and more you look into it, but what has she been a part of?
the
What has she
president.
I look at Joe Biden the same way. I think he did a lot in politics until he was vice president. I think Al Gore was an active vice president.
Yeah.
I don't think Joe Biden was.
Joe did some stuff.
A little stuff, but I think Obama was a far more involved president than where he needed a vice president. I think Clinton was a far more involved president.
Yeah.
I think Bush was not an involved president, and you
Cheney
had
was the
just
fucking
chilling.
and
president.
then you had Dick Cheney, who's a fucking warmonger, who then is like, "I want Kamala," and it's like, "Do you want that endorsement?"
Right.
Yo,
But
that's
they
a great
do.
point. They do. It's so fun to see the rehabilitation of war criminals.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, wait a minute, we hated this guy, but now he's endorsing Kamala, and we're praising him.
I was going to joke about that on Twitter.
Because
Like,
they're the
I'm
same
just,
team.
yeah, I'm just
Hell yeah.
maintaining. Yeah. I was, never mind. Go on.
Go ahead. No, I'm listening to you.
No, I was going to say I'm just maintaining my progressive ideals and voting for the people who don't vote, like support Dick Cheney. Like I'm like, how are the people? What? You guys are
insane.
yelling at me? Like this is
you tweeted
crazy.
that?
I'm going to.
Well, this is
I
the
was like in my
guy.
drafts, but I was like, I don't know. I know what I'm going to hear.
You're gonna get.
Do it.
I'm gonna get it.
You should
I'll do it right fucking now, you guys.
do it right now. Elon has your back.
No, he doesn't.
All right, yeah, probably not.
Well, on a personal level, he might have your back on a political level. But you have the guy who owned Halliburton. This is a guy who manufactured weapons for war
Right.
after 9/11. He's also you now have the son of the guy in the office who trained Afghan soldiers and sent them arms when 9/11 happened. So regardless of if we want to talk about the Spare Change documentary and everything else that happened, to watch that pivot to go from like, okay, we have Bush Sr., Afghanistan, into Halliburton, into the guy who makes all of his money off of bloodshed. And now that's the one who's like, I support Kamala. You got to be absolutely kidding me.
Yeah.
That you want that name to endorse you.
Yeah.
And they're actually excited about it and touting it as
Yeah.
like, see, this is how
embracing it.
bad Trump is. It's like, is this the point you think you're making?
Yeah, that doesn't make Trump look bad.
It does.
This is how big the tent is now. I'm
And
like,
we
everyone,
now include
same
war
tent.
criminals into the tent.
and now everyone's trying to kill Trump. You're like, I feel like maybe he's anti-establishment. Those are the two parties now.
yeah.
It's establishment versus anti-establishment. I don't know if the
Yeah.
left-right paradigm
I think
works.
Trump has a lot of the rhetoric, of a a populist, anti-establishment, and I don't know if he always follows through. I mean, even look at who he had in his cabinet the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the same.
Well, and Pence was terrible.
Yeah, so it's like,
Terrible
how are you
choice.
going to be this? So that always
He should have
kinda
been
confused
hanged.
me.
He was the
How did he get? That was the worst thing about January 6th. Is Pence got away.
Nobody used the guillotine.
That was the worst thing.
So performative.
Yeah. Why did you bring it?
Yeah, what are you?
I don't blame Trump. I think most Americans can agree.
I mean, you're using a guy that people from Indiana hate.
Yeah.
Do you know how awful?
Anyone who calls their wife mother should be hanged.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's just
With a hard
weird.
R? Yeah, mother.
Yeah.
No, mother.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
It was.
And I think the fly on his head is like people are making a big deal out of it. It's like it's not bothering him.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Any human, if I'm on stage,
Not alive.
acknowledge this is happening.
I forgot.
He's sitting there
You might
like
twitch or
like he's an alligator. Just this lizard-brained creep, just like it's fine. It happened. Don't let your tongue out.
You're waiting for the tongue to be like.
That was it. But so do you think JD is a better? Do you think he brings something?
See, I don't really know JD all that well.
Genuinely, I don't mind if somebody flip-flops because I think people should be allowed to change their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you don't like somebody, and the truth is it's politics, so he may not be crazy about him.
Right.
But I think that what I do like about JD Vance is he does have his finger on the pulse of pharmaceuticals, what they've done to this country, and he does have an important message about that, and he does have his finger on the pulse of part of America that's been ravaged by this drug epidemic, which
Right.
dude, that goes from inner city to the West Virginia mountains to everybody has been affected. Soldiers, in L.A., you name it. We've all been
It's a real
affected
issue,
by
yeah.
this. It's a real thing, and it's somebody who's passionate about it. And I think that having somebody like you said direct lines into something and showing that he actually cares about it, I think is vital.
What I also like is in the interview. Was it Aiden Ross or the other interview he did with the comedian? What's his name?
I don't know which one.
I'm blanking on his name. When he asked him what he thought of JD Vance's opinions on, I think it was abortion. It was maybe one of those. And Trump didn't hesitate. He said, "I appreciate that he has a different opinion than mine. Like I want to bring that in." I like that answer far more than, "Well, this is actually blah blah." Well, we actually agree on this, and he was speaking out of turn. Like, just genuinely say, "Oh yeah, we're different people. We have different opinions on things. We're gonna work together."
Right, we agree.
I like that
and
way
JD
more.
is I think far more. Trump is actually like a bleeding liberal when it comes to abortion. His rhetoric.
Yeah.
I don't know what he actually believes, but his rhetoric is like super progressive.
Safe, legal, rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very like old school.
Yeah.
Back to the states. That is the best option. Pull it away from the federal government. It shouldn't be their decision. It should be the state's decision because that's how we're supposed to run. If you don't like it, then you move to another state.
But how do you stop? Obviously, there's a problem with everything. So the only problem with that is how do you make it so that people have access to it and they don't have to bleed out in a car and stuff like that.
And that's the problem is you have these
it's a
there's
real
these
question.
extreme arguments and that's where I get angry, and there's plenty of people on this network that'll disagree and everything, but it's like you go, well, that's extreme. Well, you can't talk about how one life matters and then tell me how one life doesn't.
Right.
Because if somebody is bleeding out in a car and it is an extreme circumstance, that is one life. So that does matter if they can get in there and get their critical care. I think it's absolutely tragic that happens, and it does happen.
Yeah.
So it's like
that should not happen. I don't understand the argument of you're evil, and the other side's like, no, you're evil. It's like, but what? We have problems.
Let's
Real
fix
life
them.
situation.
That's every situation, though.
Yeah.
It's
And-
like the immigration stuff that you can't even talk about it. It's like all or nothing. If you even bring it up, it's like you're racist. And if you're like, but no, there's like 10 million people that we need to not dehumanize them. We need to figure out like what is happening, and you can't even talk about it.
That's
You
a
flip it
fun
on the other
issue.
side, and you say somebody that's lived here their whole life, they were brought over by their family. not by their own means, but they were brought over by their family, and then policies get removed, and now they can't go back to see their grandpa.
Right.
Because this policy.
Or they get kicked back to a country where they don't even speak the language.
Right.
Yeah,
How do
so
you find a way?
there has to be some humanity
Yeah.
brought into, because a lot of people get caught up in the rhetoric.
Yeah.
It's become about winning for your side. And I'm not so much interested in that as I am solving it. But the sanctuary city thing was hilarious to watch. I was in New York when the guy was like, yeah, come on over here, Eric Adams.
Right.
And then you slowly watch him kind of go like, oh, no, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, yeah, you can't say come on over here if you don't have the resources. And so for Biden, the administration at the time, he was like, I need help. It was radio silence. So this thing that Democrats do where they pretend like they care. That's the thing. If you care, then care. Go ahead. But they'll say the lip service. We're like, immigrants deserve rights and stuff. Come on over here. But then you're not helping them.
Yeah.
Martha's Vineyard couldn't even handle 23 for 24 hours. They got them on a plane out of whatever,
freaked out
faster than anyone has ever been
They were
removed.
like, get them out of here.
It's the Haitian problem. It's like you brought a bunch of Haitians that are in a completely different culture, absolutely almost different planet kind of culturally, and they get dropped in Ohio. You don't think there's going to be some kind of cultural
Did we just
clash?
fuck Haiti over, though? I feel like this.
I feel like we did.
I think we did.
We definitely
I think we definitely.
I don't know if it was cruising.
It was flourishing before. Yeah. It was a paradise.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember when Haiti was the vacation destination.
It was a utopia.
Yeah, we remember.
Yeah. And then we got in there and got our capitalism.
Yes,
But wasn't there some whole Clinton Foundation thing, and
Yes.
we totally screwed them over and turned them into a welfare
oh no,
CIA,
we
bro.
screwed Haiti. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
So much of the immigration thing is just chickens coming home to roost to the West to all the fucked up shit we've done.
Well, because we quarter help countries and then we leave, and at best we'll leave a bunch of weapons.
Luck.
And that's the stuff that they officially
Tough foreign
talk about.
policy, yeah.
It's not the stuff that the CIA meddles with and the FBI meddles with here and fucks up other countries. Like when we say
get into that.
people are meddling with our elections, we do that all the time in every other country.
This is when I sound the most lib. This is when I feel the most lib, when it's
feel free.
On this show.
I think you're right. Well,
I think that most people actually sit where we sit
Yeah,
in
no,
America.
absolutely.
Most Americans are not what you see, the crazy tribalism. It's not the average American is trying to balance a lot of this shit for themselves.
Yeah, it's just the loudest people on both sides.
Well, and it's what they want you to see on both sides because they want you to be afraid. They want you to be afraid of the extremes on both sides and things.
Like those trans kids or those immigrants.
They want you to think that you are only that. It's only the
Trans immigrant kids in prison.
Yeah,
those
those
are the
trans
ones
immigrant
that-
kids in prison.
Yes. Yeah, saying that also doesn't help. When you're like, they want to pay for immigrant kids' surgeries.
That was a perfect. That had everything. That line is so pure.
Yeah.
And caps. Man, you got gender. You got prison reform. You got.
But didn't it come out that actually they were behind? They
They did want to do that.
Kamala did say that in 29. I had to look it up because I was like, because sometimes people just pull shit out of their ass,
Right.
and then sometimes there's a hint of truth. And Kamala did say she was in favor of gender reconstruction surgery.
Yeah.
In prisons.
Prisons, yeah, which is a hilarious thing.
Yeah.
To say. I'm not even gonna say if I'm for it or against it. It's just what a funny issue.
What a funny hill to die on.
But it's just such a non-issue. Well, it's the same as how you have women getting impregnated now by other female prisoners, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
There's just no way to
Everyone's
really
like,
comprehend it. It's like, you're on punishment.
Yeah.
You did something wrong. But you know what happens when you do something right?
What's that?
You get to wear a nice pair of undertack underwear.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you right now, we live in a society which is constantly uncomfortable, like we just talked about. Irritated and on edge. Am I right?
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Chafed.
Ugh.
Moisture, so much moisture. You got a lot of swamp
of
ass
it.
going on.
But everything costs more, and you're getting less and less for your money. Thankfully, there are companies like Undertack providing exceptional quality men's basics for your hard-earned dollar. Their socks are made of battle weave wool. That's
Modal.
it's made of modal.
Modal.
It's 5 times stronger than merino.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dan Marino. They're ring spun cotton hoodies. Dude, aren't their hoodies
Dude,
the best?
they're so nice.
By the way,
mine's in the dirty clothes right now.
They sent me some girl underwear.
The female.
How'd you like it?
Oh my gosh.
Dude,
I cannot tell you guys. It is so good. Like
now you know the glory that is
I've heard them
Undertag.
talk about it all this time, and they
Oh.
wear it all the time. And then I was like, yeah, I'm sure they're good underwear. How good can a good pair of underwear be?
No, they're freaking good.
They're really
They're
good.
legit good.
I can't wear any other underwear, no joke. I've had people at shows go, seriously, and they show me that they're wearing Undertag.
I can't literally. I cannot wear any other underwear. It feels like
It's just
uncomfortable and itchy, and it bunches up. Like this shit is so good.
It feels like you're wearing no underwear, but also like a cloud of wonder.
Yes.
Dude.
Like there's no swamp. There's no.
I'm
it's
in the cult
amazing.
now.
Isn't it the best?
It's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's 50% more moisture wicking than cotton. It's antibacterial. It's way softer, which is true.
Yep.
Plus now, like Angela just said, they have women's underwear, and and they also have the short stuff for your tactical lady in your life.
That's right. That's right.
So go to undertac.com. That's undertac.com. Get 20% off site-wide when you use the offer normal 20, exceptional comfort, twice the guarantee, a fraction of the price. And here's the best part. They donate a portion of the profit to organize and fight against human trafficking. So stock up today. You're going to help stop human trafficking, and you're also going to get a nice pair of underwear. You can get a nice hoodie. The hoodies are so comfortable.
I feel like the word nice is not good enough.
Dude, the
Wonderful.
The sweatpants they gave me, I seriously wear every day, and because they're like good on bacteria, I don't wash them for weeks.
You don't have to.
You can't tell.
You don't have to.
I'm not kidding. They're so good.
But if you did wash them, they would not lose any of their softness.
They don't. I'm not. They're so.
Well, it's such a strong sell. Stop human trafficking.
Exactly.
Buy these.
Yeah.
Look, what kind of asshole would not buy these underwear?
Exactly.
Literally.
Exactly. It's like, what are you?
Cover your asshole.
I guess.
Some Undertag.
I guess if you don't want to buy them, you must be trafficking. So go to undertag.com and use offer code normal20. That's normal20 and get these. We're not kidding. You're gonna love them. I swear.
There's a reason we're still talking about it right now because they're so good.
I honestly, like, we could have stopped the ad, but
have.
everybody who I know has bought these is very pleased. And the skull doesn't even wash off.
No, it's on there.
They don't pill up or anything either.
No.
No, they're some kind of magical
The
material.
elastic doesn't bend. Like,
It's insane.
the hoodies too. And they look good on stage. They're like a nice,
Yeah.
like, you take a picture in them, you don't look fat, which for me is a rare. As rare as I like my
I just want you
steaks.
guys to feel good, okay? So just feel good and get some Undertag.
Undertag.
Thanks, Undertag.
Thank you.
That's beautiful.
So that Mr. B, speaking of human trafficking, he's not. That's not a thing. Yet.
The new video coming
It's
out.
not out yet. Yeah.
But I thought that was a good conversation. I didn't want to break from it, but I think that we've made that point about everything involving the presidency, and I'm interested to see where this goes. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm curious to see what happens in Detroit.
Yeah.
Because I found it very peculiar when I was covering it when I was on the Anthony Cumia show, and then Trump won Wayne County, and then they said there's a sewage pipe break, and then they were covering up the windows in Cobo with paper, and it's like, what? Why would there be a leak and you're using paper?
Yeah.
So like, let's say Biden won, fine. But now I don't believe it at all because it was so bizarre, and there's people standing outside like, and then the people that were riding in Detroit were like white skateboarders.
That was like almost all of the riders because it was a bunch of like Antifa guys that were like, it's our time.
It was great in Detroit though because the cops are black and they're just like, we'll hit you with our cars.
Oh. Been waiting for a reason.
But yeah, it was just, I don't know. I'm curious to see. I don't,
I'm hopeful for it.
I hope election integrity is somewhat real. I don't believe it is, but we'll see what happens. And
I mean, like people interfering with our elections, foreign
I don't. Well, I
it's
know.
more
I think that.
domestic.
I think that
Oh,
is.
you're
true.
like local.
I think it's always going to happen. There's always going to be some kind of cheatery going on either side, whatever. But like, is it going to affect the presidency this time? Has there been enough eyeballs on it, enough people paying attention? I don't know. I think a lot of these states, like Florida, they've really thought about how they're doing their elections.
I don't think Florida's an issue though. It's like saying,
yeah, it's the ones that aren't issues.
yeah.
but-
If you go to Washington or Florida, you know who's going to win.
yeah.
You know, it's just
the
sort
battleground
Of, yeah.
states, and it's the couple thousands
Right.
votes sometimes
It's like, yeah,
that it does.
50,000 votes or
close.
something it comes
Yeah.
down to.
But did they prove it hasn't? Have we seen that it actually was meddling that changed the outcome?
In Michigan.
Yeah, or just anywhere,
They've
really.
never been able to prove it, but they've also shown stuff that, like, I picked 10 random names
Yeah,
or random addresses, and I went to 10 houses, and 10 out of 10 didn't exist. Like, they didn't have
Yeah.
people living there. And it was bizarre because I didn't want to believe. I honestly wanted to think, like, okay, so I remember, like, one lady standing outside. I was probably, like, near Bewick, not far from Connor City Airport, and I'm asking this lady an address, and she's like, I think it's the median. And she's like getting freaked out showing me, and we're like, yeah, that's the median.
okay.
You know, so like we go, so it was odd, and then they pulled the video we did off the internet for being incorrect because one was lane and one was drive, and I was like, no, I took a picture specifically because this was lane and drive was across the street, and drive was an empty field,
and they pulled it off.
and that's no, they
Yeah,
put
it
it back
was-
on once we
yeah.
proved it.
Wow,
But they pulled it off, but I had to prove it and be like, no, this is who voted this empty field.
There's also a big difference between this election and last election because we don't have the mail-in ballots situation that we had last time during 2020.
No, we're still doing
no, we're
mail-in
getting-
ballots.
Well, not to the level that we were
Right,
in
yeah.
2020.
Well, no, I mean with everybody at home to
it'll be more
absolutely,
in-person voting this time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah.
It's not going to be 2020 levels.
You could be right. I don't know, but I would assume
You think so?
for lockdowns versus now.
I mean, I don't know. It seems like now that they've gone in that direction, it's
Just to
like
get out the house, though, right? It's like before
Yeah,
we
just-
couldn't.
no one wants to leave the house anymore.
We did ruin Earth.
Yeah. Oh, what? Because global warming.
That's right.
We're all going to die.
Yeah.
Yep.
12 years or
But
11
the
years or
heat is good to kill the COVID virus. So I mean, I can't make heads or
And
tails
bleach.
of this whole
So
thing.
Yeah.
Confused.
Heat and bleach.
And now there's a whole new COVID virus that lasts a month and a half, apparently.
something. Oh,
What?
man.
Yeah, like everybody's been saying, it's like over a month.
Too bad.
Yeah. A lot of people have. I know a lot of friends that they've been
Yeah.
like really sick all of a sudden.
I'm gonna have to get that one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to get.
Sounds nice.
Pass it around.
Yep.
I had it twice.
COVID?
Yeah, I got it
I'm
twice. My
so
wife got
far-
it pretty bad, actually.
Oh, yeah, your wife was
Yeah, she was in the
hospitalized.
hospital.
You had 0?
I've not had COVID.
Wow.
That is
vaccinated?
insane.
No.
You didn't even lose your taste or smell or nothing?
No, and I've had every other vaccine.
Man.
Like I've said, I've shot
So you're
heroin.
autistic.
So for me to be
That's how I am.
weird about that
Yeah.
should alarm a lot of people. Like, what if I cook it in a spoon?
Gets rid of all the bad stuff.
Well, the only reason why I didn't was because at the time, we kept watching people in China with this weird disease.
Yeah.
And I thought it was very strange how right before it was before an election. It was so strange how they were like soldering people into their apartments and
Oh, that was
it seemed like
wild.
control, and it was before it got here.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and I just didn't trust anything, and I've always trusted the medical community, to be honest, with almost everything, and now I don't.
But and that was that's the thing is, and
Did
that,
you?
Honestly, I did to
Even
to
with
a
like your
large
dad stuff, you did?
Oh no, I didn't trust the VA.
Oh.
I didn't
That's
trust
different.
the VA.
The
and I-
medical-
Okay. But
no,
the
no,
medical
I
community.
trusted doctors.
Okay,
I
yeah.
mean, I
Well,
felt
of course, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you don't know not to trust them inherently.
no, I didn't trust the VA because they didn't take care of my father's. But
Now I
I
know
felt
that.
I felt the doctors that were trying to cure my father before he died were trying.
Yeah.
Right.
But the VA wasn't helping.
Got it.
That's
So it was the
why.
government,
That's the
not
government.
the
Well,
Well, I don't
doctors.
trust the government for shit. That's why I'm here. Like that's always been my point. Is I do not trust the government.
Yeah, they're definitely up to something. And as far as like, black people, not to assume my own race. For us, I would never. But we had a whole different in Detroit. I mean, my family these are people that are not conservatives. But immediately from the beginning, they were like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's funny they try to gaslight a lot of minorities into thinking, you don't trust the government? No.
No.
I don't. What?
They're like, why? Tuskegee experiments. I don't know. The government and
Everything.
history, everything.
Yeah.
That's why I was so interested if Trump won Detroit, because I'm like, I'm telling you, from everybody that I've talked to, they were so bothered by that forced vaccine thing and the distrust of government.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's like, what, you think that all of a sudden they trust every cop and they
don't. I was just in a barbershop. I'm sure you frequent black barbershops.
I actually have many times, oddly enough, believe me.
I'm sure you can't not.
And I'll tell you, sometimes good haircuts, other times not the best.
Straight hair. They don't know how to cut straight.
But no, I have it many times, yeah.
Yeah, I was just there and they were talking about Trump specifically. He had just got shot. And so I'm like, oh, wow, I'm listening. It's like different types of people. But we're all black. We're all from a certain kind of background. And the overall was, we don't really trust Trump. But then when they got past that, they were like, yo, but they coming after him. He must be talking about something. You know what I mean? It's like, it must be something. There must be some reason why they're coming after him. So that's that sense I think everyone kind of gets, whether or not, we're going to hop on the Trump train as a community. I don't think so, but it is good. I want more diversity of thought. I hate when I see black conservatives or, Ice Cube. I remember he came out with a plan and he put it out to Biden and Trump. Trump was his team was the only one that responded.
Yeah.
And now when I hear people talk about Ice Cube, they're like, oh, Ice Cube is a Trump guy now. And I'm like, he just put out a plan.
Right.
Ice Cube was never liberal.
Yeah.
Look back at all of his
He also
stuff.
talk about shooting cops.
Dude, what? No, shooting cops. Dude, he said stuff about Jewish people in Rolling Stone that pissed them off back in the NWA days. Like, Ice Cube has always said some stuff that was controversial from day one. Like, and Ice Cube, and I'm not saying that was the right thing to do or whatever, but Ice Cube has always said stuff that is a bit controversial. And he came out, and it wasn't that it was like this diehard Trump thing. He was asking the right questions at the right time.
Yeah.
And he was willing to go and talk to Tucker Carlson, which is like, why wouldn't you have this conversation?
Why can't you just sit down and talk to people?
If you actually care, like you said earlier, if you actually care about the issues, you would say, "Hey, Trump, do you have solutions for these issues that I care about?"
Now, and he might hit you with I got a concept of a solution,
right?
Just a beginning, but still, the fact that he's willing to even sit down and show you that Democrats we're so mentally trapped in the idea of voting Democrat. That's our way to fight fascism. It's like, but we're not getting anything directly from that.
Right.
And it took me a long time. I mean, I remember Obama. I was all on. I was like fucking pro Obama. I believed everything the government said. And then, I remember Flint was a big deal.
Yeah.
With the way
Flint was an absolutely big deal
for me. It
as
was
well,
like,
yeah.
we have I thought this is what we needed, a black president. That's all, right? That was going to solve everything. And then when you have a city full of minorities literally getting poisoned, it's still happening. It never, and he flew there, and you saw what he did?
And the housing shit.
Fake
Bailing out the
water.
banks.
Drink the
I was
water,
like,
tap water.
Water pissed me
So
off.
it's like, how are you not, if you're not going to help my communities, then that made me rethink the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, wow, you're more of an establishment. And maybe they actually prop up people with my color from my background, knowing that they're not going to change anything, but they pacify us.
And here's why, like, it sounds bad, and I guess maybe it's from my perspective that I don't mind the fact that gangsters ran cities correctly. But
I'm on that train,
I'm
too.
serious.
There we go.
I've said Italian Mob should come back, but I say the same thing with Kwame Kilpatrick and why Trump pardoned him. Because Kwame Kilpatrick, yes, he threw parties at the Manoogian Mansion. I saw myself.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, my brother was.
Did he there?
Yes, he was. We were.
with his baby oil.
There's 1,000 bottles of Jergens. And but we had my brother and I were painting a house next door.
Did there?
And there were always parties there, but I'm like 19. Why would I not think the mayor had parties?
Yeah.
And obviously he's driving around in a Lincoln bought on taxpayers' money and all, and we found out about all the money he funneled and everything. But He's building parks, putting concerts back into the city that was going, like the electronic music festival. Mm-hmm. There was all this stuff he was doing that was actually turning the city around that people hadn't done. Like Coleman Young took a lot from the city, but Kwame was putting a lot back in. Yeah, he was doing criminal stuff, right. But at the same time, but the city was getting better. I'm telling you, the city was looking better. Yeah. And for some reason, that doesn't bother me. I don't care. Like
I don't care about that either.
Exactly. I never thought he was a criminal in that regard, where I was like, okay, so he's using the police force as protection. He's doing some stuff that you would consider criminal, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
He's doing stuff for the community. He's a young man. He was in his early 30s at the time when he became a mayor. Yeah. So like when Trump pardoned him, I was like, yeah, that's awesome. It made me just like, because I never considered him a monster. I wanted to get him on this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're still asking, like I didn't dislike him as much as people wanted. Like I didn't think he was a horrible I didn't think he was a horrible mayor. I'm sorry, but it was just the truth.
Well, it's like, look, the government's gonna break the law anyways.
Right.
So I'd rather have the government break the law and also provide for its citizenry. Like,
I watched the government kill my dad. You think I give a fuck? You're driving a Navigator,
right?
Sorry, and you go down the like civil forfeiture rabbit holes and all the shit where like the FBI will crash into your house or they'll reclaim it because you owe $2.89 and like. They're not helping the people that need help. Mm-hmm. They're taking from them every chance they get. They'll take your cash and not give it back and not have to. Like, there's so much shit that they do that you're like, this is the stuff that should unite us all to be like, hello, can we fix these problems?
Yes, and you have this, you have dystopian news now in the UK where it's just talking about imprisoning people for what they put on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then you have here...
See Gavin Newsom?
Yeah, it's insane.
See what he did? He banned memes. Yeah. You can't meme anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Gavin Newsom passed a law.
Finally.
You can't meme anything in the election because it's election interference.
And then Hillary Clinton jumps in. She's starting to push against speech. And then you have...
These people are fucking out of control and they need to be stopped.
2 federal agents, I had it for the show yesterday, went to this guy's house. Jeremy, do you have that? Go to this guy's house. We should show the video if we have it.
We have it.
He's the founder of Odyssey, the video platform Odyssey.
This?
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
Let's show these two. These are 2 federal agents going to a guy's house for freedom of speech who won't show ID. Let's play it.
Is that sufficient to identify as only one O'Donnell affiliated with the FBI?
In New Hampshire, yes.
Could you please state your full name, sir?
Could you please stop recording?
No. It's First Amendment right.
Okay.
What's your name, sir?
Could you stop recording, please?
Absolutely not. You can show me your name and identification. Or I'm
stop
going to go back
recording?
inside my house.
Okay. I don't really want to broadcast my...
Oh, this is going out
That's
right after
interesting.
you guys walk away. So you can show me your name or ID. You can walk away.
Yo.
We just want to talk about something.
I'm not going to talk to people who claim to be federal agents unless they can show me identification.
Seems reasonable.
Okay, well, you see our badges.
I need to see... Is your full name on that badge?
No.
I'd like to see something with your full name or I'm not going to talk to you.
I prefer you not to broadcast it.
This will be going
Too
online
bad,
as
Fetty.
soon as you walk away.
Well, all I want to do is talk to you about a post that was made, and if you
Well,
happen to
A
be...
post that was made.
I want to
Right.
talk
What
to
was
you
the post?
about you guys coming here. Say you make a salary of, I don't know what, low 100K? You guys making 6 figures? Factor in 50% expenses, overhead, maybe 100% expenses. Talking about burning a couple $100 an hour just here, let alone all the time you guys are spending to investigate something that you know is not against the law, right?
this
Like
Dave
you're
Smith?
familiar with.
It
So
sounds
then
like
why
it.
would you come?
Yeah, spot on.
I wanted to make sure that there weren't any...
No, you're coming because you're part of a regime that does this kind of thing when you know laws aren't being broken, and that's an embarrassment, man. Didn't you guys read the Constitution? Do you not believe in America? Like, how do you do your jobs and go home?
We appreciate it.
You're walking away because nothing we did is against the law.
where are they going?
And you guys are fuckheads that try to act like bullies. And I hope you go home and are embarrassed. You can't even say your name on camera because you know that what you're doing is embarrassing. You know Americans that believe in the Constitution think you're laughable. And you go home and you think about what you did today.
And he gets their plate.
You're in timeout.
He gets their plate, puts it
Yeah.
online, everything. And I mean,
They were real federal.
who refused to show ID,
Yeah.
who refused to tell him what they were there for.
was
Do we have the,
post?
do we have the quote, the post quote?
What the
I
what the
don't
hell?
know.
It's nuts.
I forgot what the post quote was.
He
I can look it
posted
up.
and
No, it's
said-
bad. It's bad.
pretty bad. Like
Wait,
to,
who's
to
the guy?
say-
What's the guy's name?
Jeremy Kaufman?
Jeremy.
Yes, it was. Yep.
His post was pretty bad. It wasn't inciting an assassination on Kamala, but it was like implying
Kamala.
it would be good if it. I don't care. It would be good if it did happen.
Did he have a LOL at the end?
No.
There was a winky face.
But
Oh, all right. Oh, because that's airtight.
It wasn't gun
Say whatever you
emoji.
want.
it was in italics.
No, but he insinuated,
He didn't.
hey, it might
he
be
didn't
good.
say, "Hey, go out and do." He said, "If
it
that
happened.
happened, it would be good." Which is the line. Like that's not criminal to say. If something happened, it's good. It's criminal to say, "Go out and do this thing."
Right.
So it's like I don't agree with the statement or whatever
think
it
that
is,
that's
but you don't
bullshit.
have to agree with whatever it is.
You're right. You don't have to. I don't agree with that, but I'm
Right.
not. You don't. If you're gonna show up to this person's house, what about the guy going back to Trump's? Wasn't he on the FBI watch
always
list?
Yeah, they always are.
You're worried about this guy, whoever he is. He posted something. You have people that warned you about the guy that took a shot at Trump.
Yeah.
It's like since 2019.
It's
And
like,
sorry.
no, go on.
No, the last school shooter as well was interviewed
Yeah.
by the FBI.
Really?
Same difference. They came to his house. They realized there was an issue. The mother had a drug problem. The dad was actually doing a really good job trying to do his best to keep everything working. The mom was a drug addict. The guns weren't loaded. Now, they were not put in a safe or anything, but now the dad's being charged. Tell me that's not something to go against your Second Amendment rights. Is the only reason they're using him as a patsy in that.
Yeah.
So they go over and now they're charging the father with this crime. And it's like this kid was brought in by federal agents saying he's going to shoot up the school. I don't even think a year prior.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but you let the guns in the home. You guys gave them clearance. You knew they were there. And then when he turns around and does it, you're blaming the father. You're as negligent then.
Right.
You're as responsible as the father.
What's the thing they always say online when this happens? It's like tap the sign, like the FBI. Yeah,
Say the line.
Yeah.
By
He
the
was
way,
on our list.
he was on the list.
He did say that anybody who murders Kamala Harris would be an American hero. in
Right.
his eyes.
Oh, okay.
So that's a little lot.
No, that's the
things
same.
a
It's the
little
same.
bit.
It's saying if that happened, it is a good thing. It's not saying go and
If
do
it
that
happened,
thing.
it would be.
I mean,
you would
where's
be a
the
hero.
line on that?
There is a court case. I just watched a video. It's specifically talking about this. A court case where it was a KKK member said something to the lines of, if there's not less white hate, then we're gonna start causing violence. And then it became a whole court case. But then the Supreme Court backed him up and said, no, he has the right to say if like a threat is to them, then he has the right to say, then we will retaliate.
So
that's
then-
not saying we are going to retaliate and do it right now. Right? Like it needs to be an imminent threat.
You can
It's going to
suggest-
likely happen.
You can right now. You can suggest violence
Right.
to anyone, which I don't. You're free to do that, but it's also
Exactly.
like, bro, what state of? You think this is gonna help?
Well,
No.
What do you
Yeah.
think that this is even? If it was about Trump, and by the way, plenty of people have said this. If not worse, Jack Black, what's
Kyle
that?
Gass.
Kyle Gass on stage.
He made a joke. So it's like, wait, why is that bad? But this is good.
I was thinking about that too, where, do you remember, I don't know, 3 months ago when you would be afraid to text the word assassination?
Dude.
But now it's just in the zeitgeist and anybody uses it all the time because it's happening so much more often and frequently, like these attempts and the conversation about it. So the way that it moves, I think it's terrible because I don't care who's running. I think it's an awful thing to attempt to do on either of these lives. And I said the same thing if it had happened to Biden, Kamala, whatever. This is an election. This is what is good about America, is the fact that you do have two candidates, whether you like it or not, and you do get to vote for who you want is the ideal. Is the the fact that you would
supposed
try
to
to
work.
kill somebody over it is absolutely insane.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The rhetoric, though, back to that, it's like
Yeah.
that's something that I think that we haven't really fully fleshed out what's okay and what's not, what's freedom of speech and what isn't.
It's a direct threat versus freedom of speech,
Yeah,
I
you
think.
know.
And I think it has to be pretty, I think it's got to be pretty direct to violate freedom of speech.
It's needs to be an imminent threat that is likely to happen. These are like the two things that in that court case they determined. It needs to be likely and it needs to be imminent. Like it's going to happen right now. I'm going to go out and do this thing.
What if I
it's
say
like-
I'm thinking about killing Trump and I
Yeah.
tweeted that? That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like
It's like a thought.
I feel like I wouldn't tweet that.
it should
though.
be investigated.
It's not.
I feel like you should be investigated if you tweet
No,
that.
I'm saying
Good
I'm
question. Though,
not.
like, where's the
Yeah,
line? We
I
say,
do
we say,
think
hey.
you might get a visit from the FBI and not showing you their badges or names.
This is
Yeah,
the
I'm
question.
not-
Like, if somebody is on the list, we say, oh, he's on the list. He's on the list. How does the FBI confront somebody that posts something that they think possibly might be crossing the line?
You do
Without
have
us
to
getting
investigate.
mad about them showing up at somebody's house. They didn't show up with a bunch of, I mean, to get to devil's advocate, they didn't show up with a SWAT team. They didn't show up with guns everywhere, all over the place, even though they did have guns. They didn't show up with dogs.
Yeah, but they should
showed up.
still have to identify themselves and
They
tell
should,
you.
absolutely.
Like that's just basic rights. So
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, do what you're supposed to do and not like shit all over the Constitution.
You're 100% right. That's my issue with that whole video is, okay, I can understand them honestly showing up for that tweet.
Yeah.
I will give
Right, yeah. Like, it's something to investigate.
Right, but
You're
now
like,
it
hey,
just
what-
makes
you
it
mean
look
It's a
like
goof.
yeah, but now it makes the guy look completely innocent when you're like, I don't gotta show you my page.
Right. Don't film me. Do not film me.
Yeah, like why don't
Why?
you put your camera down?
And then leave.
It's like, well, there's already 50 Ring doorbells.
Yeah, if you're willing to leave after that altercation, then you obviously didn't think it was that big of a threat. If
Yeah.
you're just gonna
Yeah.
walk back to your car and go
And you're
away.
gonna be like, all right, then I guess you're not gonna like.
Yeah.
What about
how
the
is this-
rhetoric from the candidates? So, because now we were talking about people, citizens tweeting. What about the actual rhetoric of Kamala and Trump? How they talk about each other? Because I've heard both sides go, like Trump just blamed how the Democrats talk about him. And I think there's truth to that. I mean, listen, you call somebody Hitler enough.
He is right.
Yeah,
but,
yes and no though. This is where the free speech absolute, both sides are going to be like, it's the rhetoric. It's the rhetoric. Is the rhetoric in the room right now? Like, what is the rhetoric? This is how they get to censor you is by saying, oh, it's the rhetoric. Like I don't know. That gets sketchy.
When you put on CNN though, and you are allowed to say it, but okay, this is news. Like I turned it on over the weekend, and I'll sometimes just flip between the two channels, and CNN is saying Nazis are telling you that the people in Cincinnati are eating dog, or the Haitians are eating dogs and everything, and you're like, that's a black dude in a neighborhood wearing a red hoodie. That's not a Nazi. That's a guy who's concerned because he saw somebody eating something that they shouldn't have been eating, and he lives in the community. Don't call this dude a Nazi. That's
Right.
just complete. That's just false.
You're saying that's sin.
Right, but that there are libel
Yeah,
laws.
CNN, yeah.
But there are libel laws for that. We actually have laws for that.
That's what I mean. But it seems to be that they get away with it no matter what now. Like that should be.
Not always.
Isn't that every news, every mainstream news? Like, it's not like I watch Fox News and they're pretty tailored, you know?
Oh no, I'm not saying that that it's one or the other. I'm just saying this was an example of like actually using the word Nazi, which, like, let's be honest, that's batshit crazy.
Oh, he's not a Nazi.
Yeah.
Well, and where's a Nazi? Like, find me
point to
a
them?
real Nazi.
By the way,
right
Nazis aren't trying to hide. Like these guys,
yes.
Nazis are very comfortable being Nazis.
What about the
They're not
khakis?
hiding.
What about the people talking about Jews will not replace us? Weren't they people? Wasn't that a thing a few years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, they're still
They're
around.
Nazis, right? So they didn't go anywhere.
But they're not hiding.
Well,
they're
yeah,
very proudly walking around saying that.
Absolutely.
And from what I understand, there's 9 of them playing basketball in Venice Beach.
They glow.
Again, the whole problem with American History X is they win the game.
It's crazy that movie's about a basketball game. It still blows
The
my
whole
mind.
movie is about Nazis winning a basketball game against a group of black guys. It's the whole. Like, I'm sorry, people praise that movie, but just on its face, it makes no sense.
On the
One of them is
page,
morbidly
yeah.
obese.
Very realistic.
I'm just
Solved
saying.
America tonight.
And then the
We did
whole
it.
movie
We did it.
ends with it just restarting over again.
Yes.
When Ed Furlong gets killed, it's just not a good.
Well, yeah, what do you learn in that?
You don't learn anything.
learn anything.
You just learn the Nazis were right.
You learn about what curb stomping is.
Weird.
You do learn what curb stomping is.
Biting the curb. Ugh.
Well, no, and then you also learn that if Guy Torrey is who you meet in prison and you get a good laugh off of him pretending some pillowcases or a Klan hat, you then automatically will be not racist.
That's the
Bring them
ticket.
together. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I think that's a positive
wait a
message.
second.
That's a
Yeah.
good message.
Yeah.
it was a good message. But then he kills his brother and the message is lost. Sorry, I had to figure out how to pull it out of here because we were running out of time. All right, where can we see you coming up, my friend?
I'll be at the mothership, I think, on the next week. It's a couple days. Go follow me on Instagram. I post everything. Tre Stewart #1.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Your comedy's amazing. It was really great to work with you on those shows.
Yeah, that was fun.
Really
Hopefully,
Dude.
we do it again.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he'll run for president again.
Hopefully you guys will get paid.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Maybe if
Donate your time.
yeah, maybe I'll get half of what Russell made.
Nah.
Yeah, like a quarter of it.
Yeah, even maybe an eighth.
I got a nice tote bag.
Yeah, it's true.
You gotta,
I got
Nothing says fuck you like a tote bag.
I got an autographed book.
Oh, actually, to be
some
fair to
soaps.
him, he's a good. I went on a hike with him. He's like a good guy. Very.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind just doing it because I really
Believe in
admire the man.
That's good.
Well, I believe in democracy.
Yeah.
I don't really fuck with everything he was about.
No.
But you got the right to run.
yeah.
I just like anybody who's standing up to the government.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I liked about him. And I thought he was cool. And I've never gotten a
And
call
his
from
buff body.
Oh,
Voice
So
though.
sexy too.
I also do like his wife who's on
She's
She's
great.
great.
Yeah.
yeah, so you got to admit, like,
She's from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Garrett.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
ever watch Curb?
I don't know who his wife is.
It's
Cheryl. Huh?
Is it
Cheryl
the wife
Hines.
in
In
Curb?
Curb?
It's
Yeah.
Larry's
Okay,
wife.
okay.
Yeah, that's Bobby's wife.
Cool.
Yeah. So just so I could get a eyeful.
Jesus.
The creepiest way you could.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Cheryl. We're on a first name
Oh,
basis.
she watches.
Yeah, she watches every week.
Oh,
Because I'm so
episode.
happy you were there. But Schneider got paid. I should.
You should have got. Oh well.
Yeah.
It just means you really cared.
No, I did care.
I'm firing my manager.
Yeah, no. I fired mine.
I don't have one.
You gone.
Where can we find you?
Online at Bridget Phetasy, all across the socials, and at Phetasy on YouTube. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You guys have been so lovely and great. And Phetasy.com.
I want to thank you both, honestly, for your insight conversation. I really appreciate it.
That's
today.
great.
No problem, man.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me. It's
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
And then where can we find you?
On my channel, Naked Garrett, dropping a video tomorrow, like I said, so go check that out. And I really appreciate all you guys that do stick around for these conversations that are not one-sided. It's not. It's sometimes people that have other opinions. Like we got a lot of great comments from the episode on Tuesday with Jimmy, where we were talking about kind of bringing the different sides together and stuff. And I love that stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Dave, where do they find your stuff?
You guys can find me at Dave Landau Comedian on YouTube, but also please come out to Ohio this weekend and then Florida next weekend when I will be in Jacksonville. There's a football team there, I'm told.
I'm going to Jackson.
And if you go to Detroit to watch a football game on a Monday night, it's just a parking spot.
That's sad.
Angela, where can we find you?
I have a YouTube channel now. It's called Angela Does Horror. There's really I think there's 2 videos up right now, but.
So what though? You're gonna
And
keep
some
doing
shorts.
it?
Well, yeah, it is.
Hold on.
We're gonna build it. We're gonna build it. What are you doing?
I'm going. Hold on.
What are you doing
What
here?
are you doing?
I'm
Tell me before you do it.
You do like horror, like
Yeah, like horror reviews.
oh review.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see Beetlejuice? I guess that's not really.
I did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I have seen it now.
Oh, what did you think?
Oh, yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Have you seen Cheap Thrills?
Ooh, that sounds really familiar. What's the plot?
It's a lot like Simon Says.
Is that the one with
David Koechner.
Yeah.
And he has to convinces them to keep going more and more for money.
Oh, yeah. It's like a game,
Yes.
right?
Doesn't
Okay, then
have
yes.
Tawny in it.
Who's in
If
there?
it doesn't have Tawny in it,
David
I don't want to
Koechner.
watch.
I've heard of that.
From Anchorman, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great horror movie. So I'm just saying I'm not gonna request for your channel, but because I liked what you did with Simon Says.
I will
think
cover those too.
I think Cheap Thrills is a good one to cover,
Yes.
and also Funny Games.
I love
Funny
funny
Games is great,
games.
isn't it?
It's such a
Now,
good
do you
movie.
Both
prefer?
versions.
I was gonna say, which version do you prefer?
I actually prefer the American version.
It's pretty good.
Good
Yeah,
acting.
I do like the first one. I don't like when dogs die, but
Right.
I do like that they didn't show it.
Yeah.
But I don't like the. Oh my God, Bridget! I'm so sorry.
You keep doing this, Dave. This is fresh.
Did you get a blanket?
Like a weighted blanket?
What?
A blanket.
With my dog on it?
Hmm.
No.
Well, that Amazon truck thing
Wow.
really lied to me.
Fishing.
I was hoping you got a gift.
I didn't.
It said you should have gotten a gift.
Maybe it's in a box on the porch.
Maybe the Haitians took
You
it.
want to check?
Yeah, these Haitians,
Damn it.
man, they're out here.
Really nice.
They are.
Taking blankets with dogs too.
I do nice things when somebody's dog passes. All right. And
Way
I
to make
guess
this about yourself.
Yeah, her dog died. And you're like, I'm a nice
I got you a gift.
Just to let the record show.
It's actually still alive. All right.
I have it.
End of the world.
No. End of the world doesn't make sense.
We're still gonna do it.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled my stuff up.
That makes sense. It's a movie
Yeah. We were talking about movies.
with Agatha all along. Now the gayest Marvel project to date. How will they top themselves in MCU Phase 5?
Ooh, I have a little insight on this. I have an inside track. I know
Do you?
what they're going to do. It's Spider-Man 4, Spider-Man homosexual.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
I was trying to run that home in there.
I always want the homecoming.
Yeah.
They always do home.
And then they
Yeah.
do the splash of Spiderweb, Homecoming, and I'm like,
Oh.
guys, you don't think that's suggestive?
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm gonna go Avengers AIDS of Ultron.
That's good.
Thanks.
Yes.
That's my time.
There goes my time.
Bell. Bing.
Fry the fish.
And I'm out.
Trey.
You know what? I love the Doctor Strange cough that won't go away.
I love that one. That's my favorite too.
Solid.
What's for?
What do you got?
That was my favorite too. No, Black Panther 3, The Down Low.
I'm gonna say Iron Fist and Forearm. When do you think Marvel just shuts down shop?
I fucking wish it was yesterday.
Soon.
God.
They are. It's a.
They're not
It
gay
is
enough yet.
horrible, yeah.
It's
It hasn't
every.
reached.
Gay
Gotta
enough?
harness
Yeah.
that power.
More gay, yeah.
You need to get gay.
Always more
Yeah.
gay. You can
Oh, for sure.
Even the new like, how do you make Logan and then go? Let's put him in the yellow suit.
What? Get out
The
of here.
yellow is cool.
Get out of here.
That's his original
Wolverine's
suit.
It's
costume.
original.
Yeah.
You've pissed a lot of people off now.
You're canceled, sir.
Listen,
That
I
was
love
what he looks like in the
Marvel,
comic
and I
books.
grew up loving Wolverine.
In the
When
yellow
you made-
costume?
Logan was amazing.
I will
It was,
say
actually. I
he
will
did
say
look
that.
less cool. He did look less like hot.
No.
Yeah.
in
He took
Logan.
his shirt off.
In the yellow, in the
He took
in the
his shirt
yellow.
off at the end. You got a little
Yeah, of
piece.
course he looked less hot
what I
in the
mean.
yellow because
It's like
he looked
60 years old.
like he bought it at a Halloween USA as opposed
How
to.
dare you? I'm glad they finally put the mask on.
Yeah, they did the
Mask
they did
on.
the
Yeah.
thing. Mask on.
Mask
Yeah.
on.
You know what? I don't care if I'm alone on this. I thought Logan was the superior one.
No, Logan wasn't.
That
That's
easily.
not the-
You're
that's-
on. You're on.
Yeah, that's not the argument.
That's not up for debate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Logan is the
You're right.
best
You're
one.
right. You're right.
But I like that they have comic book accurate suits.
Oh no, you're right.
Deadpool suit in that movie?
Yeah, it was cool.
Perfect.
I still like Christopher Reeve Superman. I'm sorry.
Because it's perfect. His costume.
know.
He's got the underwear on the outside. As it should be. As it should be.
He can walk.
Undertech.
That's right.
Jews.